Who you ask, the United States
usage. Is it a crime or a medical issue? The Oregon Legislature just passed a couple of new bills regarding it, and Mike Allen joins us now with the details. Mike?
Well, Lee, these House bills would reduce possession of certain hard drugs to a misdemeanor under certain conditions.
Depending on who you ask, the United States' so-called war on drugs has not worked very well. The country has the highest incarceration rate in the world, and many prisoners are in for drug use and possession. The Oregon State Legislature wants to change tactics. It just passed two bills that reclassify the severity of possession of drugs such as cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine.
So instead of being tried for a felony, it would just be for a misdemeanor, but only if you meet a certain set of criteria.
To be eligible, you cannot have been convicted of a felony, sex crime, or any more than 2 drug-related crimes prior. The idea is to start giving drug addicts medical help instead of jail time. The Deschutes County District Attorney supports the effort, adding he and his team have always cared about getting people the help they need, but now it'll be easier to give it to them.
We've done that after obtaining a felony conviction because that's what the law said. Now we'll be doing it after proceeding under a misdemeanor level, and the focus will be on treatment instead of jail. So that's what the legislature wants to do. I support the legislature in it, and we'll be a good partner with them.
The Oregon House Minority Leader understands the premise but does not agree with the bill.
In the long run, clearly, treatment and addiction relief have to be involved in how someone repairs their relationship to themselves, their communities, their families. But to simply go on a decriminalization movement without any sort of hesitation, I think is misguided.
His main reservation about the bill has to do with its lowering of property crimes related to drug use to misdemeanors. Common among drug-addicted women, the representative says, is identity theft.
Identity theft is getting worse and worse. This isn't the time to punish people less. In fact, I think we need to be stiffer on punishment.
One of the bills also focuses on traffic and pedestrian stops and requires thorough reporting by the officer of each stop. The goal here is to curb racial profiling, especially when it comes to drug possession.
The bills are now heading to Governor Kate Brown's desk, and the House Minority Leader told me he expects her to sign them. Mike Allen, News Channel 21.
Oregon bill decriminalizes possession of heroin, cocaine, and other drugs. First-time offenders caught with small amounts of heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine and other illegal drugs will face less jail time and smaller fines under a new bill approved by the Oregon Legislature that aims to curb mass incarceration. The Oregon Legislature passed a bill late last week that reclassifies possession of several drugs from a felony to a misdemeanor, reducing the punishments and expanding access to drug treatment for people without prior felonies or convictions for drug possession. Oregon lawmakers hope to encourage drug users to seek help rather than filling up the state's prisons as an epidemic of abuse spreads. Will decriminalization solve the drug scourge? We are trying to move policy towards treatment rather than prison beds, said State Senator Jackie Winters, R., co-chair of the Public Safety Committee and a supporter of the bill. We can't continue on the path of building more prisons when often the underlying root cause of the crime is substance use. The bill also attempts to reduce racial profiling via data collection and analysis to help police departments understand when their policies or procedures result in disparities. If signed into law, Oregon would be among several states that have reduced punishments for possession of small amounts of some illicit drugs, what some call the decriminalization of drug possession. Proponents say the bill marks a significant step toward addressing racial disparities in incarceration that developed as a result of the war on drugs approach to crime. The bill reflects a wider trend in which many states struggling to manage the opioid addiction crisis are working to treat drug abuse more as a public health concern than a criminal matter. In Oregon, several law enforcement agencies worked with lawmakers to craft portions of the bill. Too often, individuals with addiction issues find their way to the doorstep of the criminal justice system when they are arrested for possession of a controlled substance, Kevin Campbell, executive director of the Oregon Association Chiefs of Police, wrote in a letter of support for the bill. Unfortunately, felony convictions in these cases also include unintended and collateral consequences, including barriers to housing and employment and a disparate impact on minority communities. Despite garnering support from law enforcement agencies and advocacy groups, the majority of Republicans in both the House and Senate voted against the bill, as did some Democrats. I fully support the collection of data to monitor racial profiling, but I am opposed to reducing drug classification, State Representative Alan Olson, R., wrote in a recent newsletter to his constituents. State Senator Betsy Johnson, D., who voted against the bill, argued that downgrading drug possession is misguided and represents a hug-a-thug policy in which legislatures are soft on crime in an effort to reform the prison system. The proponents of these bills mistakenly believe that drug sentences damage people's lives, but it's the drugs that ruin people's lives, she said. I would like to end the odious practice of racial profiling, but I will not be associated with a bill that decriminalizes hard drugs. As opioid overdoses rise, police officers become counselors, doctors, and social workers. Oregon Governor Kate Brown, D., shown in a file photo from 2015. She said she plans to sign the new bill that reclassifies drug possession in the state. Bruce Ely/Oregonian via AP. Studies have shown that Oregon conviction rates disproportionately affect minorities. A 2015 study by the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission found that African Americans in Oregon were convicted of felony drug possession at more than double the rate of white offenders. Native Americans were convicted of drug possession at 5 times the rate of whites. In Oregon, the incarceration rate for African Americans is 5.6 times that for whites, according to a 2016 report by the Sentencing Project, a prison reform advocacy group. Black people make up less than 2% of Oregon's population but represent more than 9% of the people incarcerated in state prisons as of 2014, the study found. With the bill's passage, Aaron Knott, legislative director for Oregon's Office of the Attorney General, hopes to reverse these trends while also increasing access to drug treatment for all Oregonians. Many Oregon counties already have local drug diversion programs that allow some low-level drug offenders to undergo treatment instead of jail time, but the programs are generally in wealthier counties with more resources, leaving people in low-income communities without options, Knott said. So if you cross the county line with a small amount of heroin, in one county you could be looking at a felony. In another county you could be looking at a misdemeanor with pretty good access to treatment, Knott said. We had a feeling this was unjust because the outcome is largely due to the county's resources. The bill also requires police officers to record demographic information including the age, race, and gender of any person stopped during routine pedestrian and traffic stops. The Oregon Criminal Justice Commission will analyze the demographic data police departments collect and will notify them of any disparities so that the departments can make adjustments to their practices. In 2015, Oregon became the 31st state to pass a law addressing racial profiling, but it did not provide guidance for dealing with the issue. The bill was incomplete, Knott said. It was saying to police departments, just don't profile, and here is a definition of what not to do, and we expect you not to do it. Trying to fix a broken criminal justice system.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
for life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.